Welcome to Get Real with Asil, a women empowerment podcast hosted by Asil Al-Baba. Welcome to another episode of Get Real with Asil. Today is Monday, April 21st, 2018. With me today, I have a lovely couple that I met recently at a women empowerment event, Mr. Rohit and his wife, Nidhi. How are you guys?
Doing good. How are you, Seal?
Did I say your names right? Because I know...
Yes, you did.
Oh, perfect. Awesome. So I don't want to introduce you. I want to leave the stage to you. Why don't you tell me about yourself and you go ahead and introduce yourselves.
My name is Rohit, but I'm gonna let the ladies speak first, so it goes to Nidhi first.
Okay. So we are Rohit and Nidhi. By background, we are from India, and we've been living in Canada for the last 7 years. We immigrated to Canada as a student, but now we have transitioned into our professions as IT professionals in one of the bank and one of the IT firms. You want to cover?
We come from India, obviously, and from our accent, you could tell that. But we came over here. I was building an IT career for myself. Right after I finished my studies, I had a career started with CIBC as one of the 5 big banks. I worked there for 3 years. Then I wanted to branch out to something else, so I started doing my own contracts with another bank as well. But that's not something that we're going to talk about today. That's not something that is our life. That is something we just did for some time because we didn't know any better.
Exactly. It was a stepping stone.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. When you're 16, 17, the only thing you want in your life is what? Money, isn't it?
Yes, well, that's right? The majority of people.
Yeah, the only thing you want in your life is money, right? And for guys, it's girls as well, though. But yeah.
Money and girls, you're set, Rohit.
Yeah. So what happened? I was into my graduation, and everybody said, "Hey, you know what? IT makes a lot of money." I said, "Okay, I'm gonna do IT." Right. That's how I went into IT, and then Nidhi was following me all through. So she went into IT as well.
I didn't want to leave him alone, so I was just chasing him throughout. I followed him into his IT career as well.
Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. So you guys picked your career or field of study based on what you think would produce or help you produce the most money, and Nidhi just followed along. But how did this bring you to where you are today? So why don't you tell me if you want to start with the journey, but also the destination and the future.
Yes. I guess that's the most important part of our lives now, because I'm sure anybody who's listening to your podcast right now, and before that, I would really want to thank Asil. You even think of us to bring on your podcast. I know you're doing a really great service for everybody. Not everybody has that courage to do what you're doing right now.
Oh, thank you.
You're taking time out on after your work and after whatever you've been doing already. I know you're pretty busy already, but you're taking that time out to inspire other people. That's a huge thing. So first, hats off to you.
Thank you very much.
And so what brings us to here was, everybody wants to make money, but at some point you want to make a life as well.
Absolutely.
And the destination. And when I started working, my destination wasn't to just work. My destination was to do something. And I read it somewhere, Benjamin Franklin said once, he said, if you would not want to be forgotten after you're dead and rotten, either write something that is worth reading, or do something that's worth writing.
Wow.
So that's how I went around. I met my mentor. I wanted to do something more. He was already running a huge business that transitioned really well over e-commerce and online. We started looking out for him, and the first thing that actually attracted us towards him was not the cars and the money and everything. The first thing was the time, the control over time he had. He was free. He was, the time we were going at work, he was bicycling with his kids, man. I'm like, really? Right?
Amazing.
The guy takes 4 vacations in a year.
Yeah, so we just got inspired, and the other important factor was when we first met our mentor. Throughout our years in Canada, when we were working with different corporate backgrounds, nobody ever came to us and said, how can we help you? Everybody was always behind that rat race. How can you help us? Yeah. They would never come to ask us, right? Do you need something? Do you need our help? And, our mentor was someone who came and who said, I'll put my time and my effort in making your life better, which kind of stuck to us. And we were like, everybody thinks about themselves, but it's such a great feeling when you talk about others, when you reach out to others to help them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So and I think pretty much we also, the way we are brought up, we are from a middle class family. Our parents have always taught us the values, on how to make other people's life better. So it fell along that same lines, and we were like, what, let's follow this person, and we might land up somewhere where we want to.
How did you guys meet your mentor?
It was a total random effect. Total random. But yeah, I still feel there has to be a connection from God. I believe in God. I was looking. I was working for a bank, but at same point I was having a good career, but I was looking to do something more. I was looking to add more to my life and other people's life. In IT, you can add more to. The only thing you can add is bugs, pretty much. Yes, but yeah, you solve bugs, you put more bugs, and then that's what you do in IT, right? But I wanted to add more value in our lives. I wanted to add more value in other people's life.
You wanted to have meaning behind the work you do, beyond about.
It has to have meaning, because it has to have, your life has to have purpose.
Absolutely.
And I can assure you one thing, Asil, I wasn't like this before. I would not think about anybody else. The only thing I would think about making money. Yes, I was a nice guy, but did not think of making an impact, a social impact right now. But just because we are in this path, we were selected from like hundreds of people. We were selected in a leadership video as well. We are actually mentoring people back in India, over here. We have teams in London. We have teams in Ottawa, Oshawa, that we are helping students, pretty much students and professionals. We are helping change their lives. But the question was, I know I'm taking it another route, but the question was, how did I meet him, right? So the thing is, I was looking, and it's from somewhere a random thing happened. I received an invite to a networking event. I went there, and that's where I saw him. But I think it not only happened because, it was a random thing, but it happened because I was looking.
Absolutely.
And when I was ready, God did bring him.
You know how they say when the student is ready, the teacher appears?
Yes, yes.
And I believe in that so much. And it's not so much about just people appearing in our life, but the whole universe arranging itself in such a way that serves you. Once you're ready and once you're aware, and once you're focused. And these are all principles that I always talk about in my podcasts. But I also love to interview people like you, because it's an example of how to put these theories in practice. Because what's the point of us learning all these things unless we're able to then manifest them in our lives? And you're a living example of that. So that's why I really was excited to have you both on my podcast, because all the theories in the world won't bring us anywhere unless we start tangibly seeing their impact in our lives and the lives of others.
Yes. We agree with that fully. And that's where I guess we wanted to do something. And then we have a dream of our own that me and our mentor have created together, that we want to impact 1,000 people's life in a positive way. We want to help them make a better living, a better life for themselves, and not by, as they say, like formal education will make you a living, and self-education and a mentor will make you a lifestyle. That's what we want to do. We want to impact 1,000 people out there, help them live a better life.
Absolutely.
Help them show how to fish, not give them fish.
Yes. So tell me about what you do today. How are you transitioning out of the corporate world? What are you building on the side, and how are you helping others?
So it's everybody. I'll tell you a little small thing. Everybody, if you meet a youngster today at 18, 19-year-old youngster today, everybody has an idea. Everybody wants to start up something, right? Everybody has something, or they think, you know what, I'm gonna start up this thing, I'm gonna start up that thing. However, That's good. That is good. I'm not saying that's not good, but
yes, there's more that spirit of entrepreneurship.
Yes, they are trying to do everything by themselves.
Uh-huh.
That's good, that's okay, but why not learn from other people's experience who already have it, right? You don't have to go back to fall into the same pit that somebody else fell in. right?
Absolutely.
You can just see him and say, yeah, this guy fell down. I should not be going that way, right? You can do that as well. So how we are transitioning out of our corporate life is that obviously we are not fully out of our corporate lives right now. We're not. We are working towards getting Nidhi free within the next 12 to 18 months from her corporate life. So the question is, what do you need to retire from your corporate job? Is it money or is it age?
Very good question. I think I was reading this thing the other day about entrepreneurs who take the risk, and there's a myth that entrepreneurs simply drop everything they have and jump onto their dreams to fulfill them. But reality is that that's not how most people do it. They actually build it gradually until they feel that it's secure enough for them to leave their safety net, because our corporate jobs like represent the safety net for us. And when we feel that we've built something sustainable enough, people often do the leap then. So the myth is that people just jump into it, but reality is that that's not how it takes place. So tell me how you're doing it.
Yes. So as the answer to that question, you pretty much gave it. Yeah, you have to have a sustainable income. So first of all, how we are going to do is, first of all, we are already halfway through. We are replacing Nidhi's income within the next 12 months, and
Amazing.
we already have a plan. We already have a mastermind alliance with our mentor, and that's how we're going to do. You said a very right thing, that people think the myth is, they just jump exactly like right away to whatever they think. It does not happen. The entrepreneurs are the smartest people out there. Smartest. They take risk. People think they take risk. Yeah, they take risk, but they know what's going to be the outcome.
Yes. They take calculated and educated risk.
Yes. But people do not understand. They think Jeff Bezos as the world's richest man today, but they haven't seen 30, 40 years of work behind what he has done.
Yeah.
Right? He has done work to do that. How we are going to do it? Very easy. First of all, you need to find out what's your goal. You have to if it's a financial goal, you have to put a number to it.
Yeah.
You have to put a number to it, and there has to be two numbers. The number one is what number you need in the bank.
Okay.
Right? Second number is you need a sustainable
monthly cash flow.
Recurring money that has to come, and then on top of that, you have to multiply that with the 2 at least. Why?
Okay.
Why? Because you're thinking about future, isn't it? When you're thinking about future, what happens? Inflation happens.
Yeah.
You have to multiply with the 2, at least 2, right?
Okay.
And that's what our mentor told us. That's what we are going about it. Find out that number, put that number, and fill your life around with that how will you achieve that number. And it's very easy to achieve that number exactly where in information age businesses, the one we are in. In information age businesses, first thing people have that myth around businesses today that, if you tell somebody, I'm going to start a business, they think you're going to invest a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah.
But today you don't have to. It's an information age business. We live in a digital world today. You don't have to own a store. You can have an online enterprise, and you don't need to have an employee. You can run a business from your house.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. There's options available today that were never available before.
You just need to find out the right information.
Yeah.
Second, you need to find out person who has the fruit on the tree that you're looking for, who already has created it. Then the third thing, you need to find out in yourself, do you have what it takes? And I can assure everybody has what it takes. It's just they don't know it yet.
Okay.
They don't know it yet. They have to find out with the mentor, because my mentor told me one time, he said, you cannot worry yourself out of a worry.
Yes.
Right? You cannot solve a problem that you have created by your mind. So you have to have somebody else's mind with you. 2 minds are always better than 1. So you have to do that once. And on a way that how we are creating this for Nidhi within the next 14 months is we are creating solutions for other people. Right? We are surrounding ourselves with a network of entrepreneurs.
Okay.
When it was industrial age, a lot of people were going into big businesses. When the steel company happened, when Ford Motors happened, when General Motors happened, right? And these people were having big businesses, and they duplicated themselves with what? Employees, isn't it?
Yes.
They had a lot of employees, and they say the definition of a big business is at least the people who have at least 500 employees.
Yeah.
That's that they call it big business. But in information age, you don't have to have 500 employees. right? You just need to duplicate yourself with the people who have same conviction, who are as ambitious as you about their own life, not because of your company, about their own life.
Yes.
You have to surround themselves and you have to show them a way. How are you doing it, and let them do the same thing.
Makes
and once
sense.
they're doing it, if you are and think about, if you are helping, if you want to make $1 billion, you cannot make it from one person. But if you help somebody create a $1 business, a billion people, and there are a billion people, obviously, you will create $1 billion every single day, pretty much.
Okay, I have so many questions rushing in my head right now.
Yes, go ahead.
But first, let me start with, why don't you tell us exactly what you're doing? What's the service you're providing?
So yeah, no problem. So we work with health and beauty. We work with sports nutrition. We are partnered with one of the best sports nutrition outside. It's called Access Sports Nutrition Company. It's called Access XNS, if you know. Okay.
We call it Extra Smart.
Yeah, we call it Extra Smart. We are partnered with some other company as well. So to take few names, Apple, Dell, Nike are also our online partners. So what we do, we run through a service provider. Okay, I wasn't as smart as other people to create my own website.
Okay.
Right, but it's okay, and you don't have to be. You don't have to be. Do you know Jack Ma?
No.
The guy who owns AliExpress
I'm not
from China.
familiar.
There's a huge.
Oh, Jack Ma, like Alibaba.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Alibaba.
I didn't. I misheard you. I thought you said Jack. I misheard you. Anyways, yeah, of course I do.
So Jack Ma. So think about Jack Ma. The guy did not know anything about a computer.
Yes.
But
Yes. And he was
world's
rejected from
second largest
Harvard.
e-commerce business today.
Yeah, and he was
How can
rejected
you do
like
it?
a million times from Harvard.
Yes, yes, and that's what we do. We own our own e-commerce company. We are partnered with pretty much somewhere around 50 to 60 companies right now. We have our own exclusive products, and what we do, we help these companies streamline their supply chain. You know,
Okay.
today, Asil, I know you have a lot of subscribers and a lot of people listen to you, and these people who are listening to you right now, they at some point they're listening through a phone, right? They're listening through a phone, and that's how they do their shopping as well. If they're shopping for information from a phone, they're shopping for everything from their phone,
Yes.
right? And that's the way of life today. We want everything online. We want everything on our phones. We don't go to shops these days. And e-commerce is the biggest thing out there. And if you're not tapping into that market, you will lose. You will lose on a big time. I know why. Because everything is going online. There's how many times people have gone to banks these days,
For sure.
right? How many times people actually go to a shopping store or actually go to a
It's
store?
rapidly decreasing. That's a fact.
Yeah, you saw Sears closing down,
Of course.
right? You saw Target closing down. You saw other people are like pretty much all
Yeah.
the companies are.
Yeah, a lot of
physical
companies like
stores.
Nine West recently is also
Yes.
bankrupt. Yeah.
So what I mean by streamlining is we are helping these companies who already have big businesses out there already, but they still want you and me to run their businesses.
Yeah.
They still want us, right? But now there's a more smart way to do it. What is that? We can help them cut down the middleman. Let's say think about the manufacturing happening in India or Bangladesh or China, right? It used to go through a shipper, receiver, trucker, and all those people, and then it will end up in a retail store, and you and me will go over there and buy on a hefty price,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Now you can go on Alibaba and find it for like $4.
Yeah.
Why is it happening? Because there's no middleman's there now.
Yeah, you're streamlining the process and decreasing the price. Absolutely.
And-
What is your service called?
Our service, we deal with totally different products. So like we deal with a huge list of products. So
I think what Asil is trying to ask is that, Asil, are you trying to ask the name of the company that we work for?
Yes.
oh, my company's name is Kuller Enterprises. My last name enterprises.com.
Got it.
Okay. We own our own business, but we have service providers. We have a lot
Absolutely.
of service
Perfect.
providers that we work with. For health and beauty, we work with one of the topmost service providers. It's called Nutrilite.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's world's number one
Vitamin
and supplement brand. It is the official partner for AC Milan if somebody plays soccer.
Okay.
Right.
Nice.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we have few more companies that we work with exclusively, and then on top of that, the few companies that you already know: Apple, Dell, Nike. We recently joined our hands with Tom's Shoes.
Yes. So
right?
this is like all great, and this is the technical part of what you do, but let's get into the fun stuff. So
Yes.
when you decided to launch into this field, which is becoming more and more saturated because people are becoming aware of its potentials, what was the feedback from your friends and family? Did you get a lot of rejections or naysayers, and how did you deal with it?
I know, and this is a very good question that actually you asked. There are a lot of people who think it's saturated.
Of course.
There are a lot of people out there who think it's saturated. The only thing is saturated is stupidity. There's
Okay.
nothing called saturation outside. There's nothing called saturation outside. You tell me there've been people talking about, share market has been saturated, and it was about to go down in pretty much 50 years back, but it's still going through, isn't it?
Yes.
There's nothing called saturation.
I do believe in
You
that too. If you find a way that you can do it better than your competitors, that you still have an advantage.
yeah. I can tell you one thing. If you are living in Canada or North America right now, and if you are coming from a third world country like us, right, and in your 30s, if you haven't built something as an asset base where you can surely say within the next 4 to 5 years you can be a millionaire, you are not actually living the life that you should be living, and Canada or North America provides. It's a ladder free, isn't it?
Yes.
That's why people leave their countries and come over here. You're not respecting Canada if you're not doing that, because it is providing you to be a free enterpriser. Go out, compete with your enterprises, and if you have the guts, and if you have the right product, if you have the right feelings, and if you're looking for good of people, you will make it.
Yes.
Yes, there are naysayers. Yes, there are.
Of course.
Did our friends and family
For sure.
opposed us? Big time.
Yeah, I mean, right from the scratch, our family was like, "Oh, you guys have good ID back. I mean, you have good ID jobs. Why do you want to get into this? Why do you want to make some extra money, or why do you want to do something on your own? Just get a good job and you're all settled." But they don't know the myth of being settled.
Yes.
What I've learned and what I've heard from so many people is the only time you are settled is when you're in your grave. That's
Yes.
it. I mean, every time you grow, every time you earn more, you have you have in your mind that you want to grow more and more. So yes, I mean, my parents were like, because as Rohit said, the way, going back to the question that you asked before, how are we transitioning? So yes, we are very focused on our jobs right now. From 9 to 5, we are pretty dedicated to what we do. We respect what we do because it's bringing bread to our table. But at the same time, after the work, the time that we have, the unproductive time that we have, we pretty much utilize it. We go out and we try and expand our business, which for normal people, I believe it's abnormal.
Yeah.
So my parents were like, "Oh, you're just trying to make yourself stressful. Why do you go out? You just stay home, relax, chill." And I told them, this is the right age. If we are able to create a sustainable income for us, and if we are retired, and when I say retired doesn't mean we stay back home and we don't do anything. It's you have your control of time of helping go out and help more people do the stuff that you did. And I believe the way I was brought up, my mom was always home. So I believe all moms deserve to be home with their kids.
Yeah, bring moms back.
That's pretty much our agenda, right? And that's a principle that we want to work on. So yes, everybody, our friends were like, "Oh, you're crazy. You just go to work. We earn good money." But how long can you work? You don't know the challenges that you'll face through. There might be some family challenges. There can be some health challenges. And as soon as they come in, your job is gone.
Yes.
Your company won't they won't consider, okay, Rohit, you're not feeling well for a month or so, okay, stay back home and we'll pay you. They won't. They'll replace you as quickly as possible. So you need to have something. A plan B needs to be there in place.
And to add what Nidhi said, what she said very, very rightly, that you can, as long as you're replaceable, you can be replaced.
Yeah.
Right. The only thing that you people can't replace you from if you own something.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And there are people who think, "Oh, I own a job." No, you don't. You don't. You don't own a stapler over there. Right.
Absolutely.
As soon as you leave from there, they tell you to take your own stuff, and they stand behind you and they sit with you to figure out if you're not even taking anything. Right. Do your job. Yeah, do your job well. That's what we teach our people. Do your job well. Till the time you're at a job, you should be dedicating, you be the best employee. And I have seen the people we have been teaching entrepreneurs and we've been talking to, they have actually been promoted to their jobs because they have learned those skills.
Absolutely.
Because at your job you have your mechanical skills, whatever you've been doing over there, you have your technical skills.
Yeah,
but
it's
are you more
transferable.
accountable? Are you taking more initiative over there? Because the skills you learn from being an entrepreneur and talking and being in the shadow of your mentor, those skills will reach out to your other life as well.
Absolutely, everything.
It will
It's
never
how you
happen that
do
you're
one
failing
thing
in
is how you do
one part of your
everything.
life. Sorry, I'm sorry, you were saying something?
I was like, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yes.
So obviously
Yes.
it translates into other areas.
Yes, yes. And I want to talk about one thing only. You said naysayers. I'll tell you a story, right? You know, when you have big dreams, you make yourself a fool, isn't it? And yeah, you do, and you need to. It's okay. You know, it's only, there's a very good video from IBM. It's called For the Crazies of the World.
Okay.
It's a very good video. It's a very old video. It's a very good video. It's called The Crazies of the World, and they talk about Apple. They talk about people who had made a ding in the world, right? Those old people were crazy.
Yes.
Right? They had big dreams nobody could think of.
Yes.
Right? Like think about JF Kennedy, right? Nobody even thought of moon. He had, you know what, within the next 10 years we'll go to moon.
Yes.
And people told him, are you crazy? It will never happen. There's nothing that could take us there. But they did it before 10 years. When people told Steve Jobs, what are you doing? BlackBerry has already taken over the market. It's already saturated. Why are you going into Apple business or like a phone business? He didn't think about them, right?
Of course.
And who's the major mobile phone provider today? Apple.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what it is. You do not, to all your listeners, I know you guys are coming to a seal because you're looking for inspiration. You're looking for something good. You're looking for somebody that has gone through the same situation. Now I'm telling you, there is no unique situation. I'm just talking to your listeners right now. There's no unique situation that you will be having. It can be unique at that one point, but there are a lot of people that have gone through that same situation. There are a lot of people who have gone through that already. You just need to find out who has gone through that situation positively.
And then learn from them.
And learn from them.
Absolutely.
Do not learn from the negative people because they always have a negative outlook, not to themselves, but to the opportunity that or a situation they were going through.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
So do not listen to your naysayer friends. Listen to a seal. Okay? Second thing, if somebody tells you your dream is crazy, good. Thank them and tell them you'll do it. Third thing, for yourself, find out a mentor. It's a very important thing. If you follow a sport, if you follow anything, every big player has a coach.
Of course.
But how do you choose your coach? That's the biggest thing. How do you choose your coach? And there are a lot of people who think their family is their coach. There are a lot of people who think their best friends are their coach.
No.
You have to think about two things. Sorry, Seal, I'm taking some time, but I just want to add some value if somebody is listening right now.
Of course, absolutely. Right? This is what it's
Two
for.
things you have to listen if you're choosing a mentor. First thing, there is something called emotional vested interest. And second thing called your financial vested interest or anything that your business vested interest. The emotional vested interest comes from your family, your good friends. They're not bad. They're not thinking negative about you. They just want you to be very protective, right? They just want you to be protected, safe, not to hurt yourself, but that won't lead you anything, right? So the vested interest, the emotional vested interest comes from your family. They tell you, oh, be very safe. It's okay. You don't have to do that. Oh, you know what, Joe, you're okay. You don't have to do this. But if your coach is there, he's not a good man. Okay, your coach is tough.
Yeah.
If you bleed, he's going to tell you put something on that and go run again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And
they know when to be tough and when to be lenient.
Yes, and that's what you need. That's what you need. You need to listen to your coach. You need to find out somebody who has the fruit on their tree, who has the characteristics that you want in your life, who has the relationship that you want in your life, who has the kind of money, the kind of time, the kind of impact on people that you want in your life. Go out to them, reach to them. Most of them successful people are very humble. They will reach out to you and they will help you. And if you don't find anything, Asil is there, I am there. We can help you out.
Absolutely. There's lots of people out in this world that can offer inspiration to others. And you've mentioned really key practical things that people can do as far as surrounding themselves with the right people and reaching out to the right mentors for help and guidance. But I want to talk about other things that you created in your lives to help you on this journey. And let's focus on routines and habits, because I'm a firm believer that these are really important things that people have to take into consideration to get them from where they are to where they want to be. And particularly, I want to focus on your morning habits. If you have certain things that you have in place to start your day right, for your mental attitude, spiritual attitude, and also business attitude, whatever it is that you want to share, I'd love to hear about that.
Do you want to go ahead for that?
Okay.
Okay. So Asili said it very rightly. Yes, there has to be habits, because habits create your life.
Absolutely.
It's not the big things you do in your life, it's the small things you do every day.
Yes.
Right? I did not have a habit before. And anybody who's listening right now, I can tell you it is a little hard to create habits, but it's even harder to leave habits.
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, you need to think of what can you shed off, right? You have some fat around your muscles right now. So think about what can you shed out. Leave every month, take one habit and leave one habit. Take one habit, leave one habit. You don't have to go gung-go on it.
Yeah, so add a habit that's useful and get rid of one that's not.
Yeah, and we all know what we are doing wrong. We all know. You don't need somebody else to tell you that. Everybody knows it.
Absolutely.
I know it, Nidhi knows it, and everybody else, they know it, right?
Absolutely.
I know there are a lot of people who are gym freaks. They want to get a six-pack, but you eat a pizza every second day. You know what's wrong, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? So to create habits, I would say, first of all, whatever time you're waking, I'm not going to tell you as a Navy SEAL wake up at 4:30. I'm not going to tell you that. I don't. Whatever time you're waking up, start from at least 15 minutes early. Start from that. Okay, and your goal is to get it to an hour early.
Okay.
And what do you do in an hour? You don't sit and watch YouTube videos. Okay, that is your hour to give it to your life. Because if you think back to your life right now, you're not giving any time to yourself. No time at all. Every time you're surrounded with phones, your laptops, people, games, everything. Have you ever sat back, take a step back, look into your life, be relaxed, and think, what are you going to do? And at some point, don't even think anything. I know girls can't understand, you can't think anything, but guys, you guys have that box of nothing. Keep it. It's okay, right? At some point, you have.
We don't have that. I've never heard of such a
girls
thing.
don't have that box.
The box of nothing.
You guys have a zigzag check boxes. If you touch one thing, everything goes away.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, jokes away. But yes, start waking up at least 15 minutes early. Make your bed. That's a very big thing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people outside. We have seen a big change in our life. We weren't making bed, and now we start making our bed because that has made a habit. It's easy to create another habit.
Absolutely.
It takes 90 days to create a habit. 90 days to create a habit. And just to clarify with that, I know some people take it literally. When I said shed a habit and add a habit, I did not mean the next month you don't do the habit that you had taken previous month. You keep it.
Of course.
You keep
Now,
on adding
now it becomes
okay?
part of
You don't
your life.
replace it.
Yes.
Right? So yes, wake up early, at least 15, and then you want to go to at least an hour. Second thing you want to do is give some time to yourself. Do not think about anything else, just yourself.
Meditate, yoga, all that stuff.
Yeah, how can I be a better person today?
Yeah.
Right? I'll tell you one thing. I learned it from a book, okay? It's called, what was the name of the book? Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
Think and Grow Rich is a great book. Everybody should be reading it. It's not about money only. It's about your life. Everybody should be reading. And the author talks about something. He said, every time you wake up, people wake up with alarm. Oh, man, really? It's already 5. It's already 6. You wake up within 5 seconds. It's a 5-second rule. Within 5 seconds, wake up, clap your hands thrice with a huge, and then tell it, it's a great day. You will feel funny for a few days. But I'm telling you, it will be a great day. It will be a great day.
I'll try that tomorrow.
Yes, have some positive affirmations about your life. If I show you my house right now, I have positive affirmations all around my house. You know why? I learned it from my mentor. He said, you cannot control your mind or your imagination, but you can control your surroundings.
Yes.
You cannot control your Facebook, but can you control who you subscribe to?
Yes.
Right? You cannot control your phone, because if there is Instagram, you will go on videos, but can you delete it?
Yes.
Right? Can you delete it?
Focus on the things that you can control.
You have to come out of fear of losing. You're not going to lose anybody. There's no, Instagram would not crash if you're not there. It would not. You come back after a year, there will be more people. It's okay. Right? So start from these small habits. You know what you need to shed out. Shed out first. Then add one more habit every single day, every single month.
Absolutely.
Then practice that habit. Keep yourself accountable. Maybe give it a nice name. We gave it a 30-day core run name. That's what our name is, 30-day core run. We run a core run and what do we do in core run is it's some activities that help us spiritually and some activities that help us in our business, right? We every day we have a habit of reading at least 30 pages.
Amazing.
A book, right?
Yeah.
I was never a reader. I would not read a book. You give me a book, I'm gonna go to sleep.
Yes.
But now I do. Why? Nidhi was always a reader. Nidhi reads faster than me, obviously. And at some point we had a time, let's read for half an hour. And I could shy behind it. I could say, yeah, I read half an hour. I kept a book in front of me and I never turned a page.
Yes.
And Nidhi said, no, it's not working. Now read 30 pages.
Yes.
It's not about the time, it's the pages you read now.
That's a great feedback, because it's really about the quality of not just when it comes to reading in general. Maybe we should measure our production not by the time we spend on a task, but by the things we got accomplished in that task. Yes. And I started, doing these little tweaks around my own productivity measures, because when you reflect on your day, really, it's not how you spent your time, but what you actually end up doing. That's what I find the most useful. So thank you for sharing that. These are definitely great practical things that you yourself can relate to because you're doing them, and you're definitely sharing that with the listeners, which is very important, and I appreciate it for sure.
And I guess one more habit that I created later on, we actually talked to our mentor, and we created this habit of listening to, like you have a podcast, we have our own podcast as well. It's only applicable to our businesses, and then obviously we have some spiritual leaders as well. To listening to those people every single day, staying away from negative friends. We do not hurt them, or we do not say they are bad people. It's just we're not gonna give them more time of our life right now. For sure.
And you guys are a support system for one another. You're holding each other accountable. You're pushing each other.
I'm okay. She does. She's the guy. She actually runs the business. I'm the loud mouth.
Well, you guys seem like you're a great support system to one another. So I really value the relationship you have with each other, because it's apparent in how you work and the things you're doing together. It just makes you that much more productive, and that's lovely to see.
Thank you.
Thank you, Theo.
We're trying to make it.
Yeah. I have no doubt that you will. I know that this podcast, maybe a year from now, you're going to listen back and mark this day as where you were today, and just see your progress from here. It's evident. Like when you have all the right things in place, the attitude, the habits, the people, the process, what is there that's missing that's going to get you to your goal? Nothing that I can think of is missing. You have everything in place, and it's just a matter of time, which is why people give up too easily. Sometimes they're just, steps away from their goal. And that's when most people give up, when they're that much closer to their goal. And it's a fascinating phenomenon when we see that. But when you have each other to remind each other that you've already been through so many obstacles, what's a little bit more to overcome to really achieve what you want? That's what you're here for at the end of the day. What's the point of life if it's going to be a mediocre one?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I believe, like as I started with, we believe in God big time. Yeah. We know there is a higher power. You can call it anything, but there is a higher power.
Yes.
And we believe in He creates no junk.
Yes.
He creates no junk. He creates everybody special, and everybody listening to you right now is special. They have their unique identities, unique talents, unique gifts, and most of all, they have unique retina also. So think about it. You are one of a kind, right? So you're special. The dream that was given to you, it's yours. If somebody tells you that it's not possible, that you can't do it, because they do not see what you have.
Of course.
So do not leave it. Just find out a support system. You need to find. I know we were listening to the Olympian Sarah Williams. We met her, I guess, couple of months back. Sarah Wells. We met her a couple of months back, and she actually talked about a way. She said you have to found your village. The village means the society around. He said you have to have your own village.
Yes.
And those people should be people who believe in you. How much crazy you are, that does not matter. They should believe in you. They say, hey, you know what, Sarah, you are crazy, but I'm with you. It's okay.
Yes. I got you and I know you can do it.
Yeah.
I get it. So I really want to be mindful of your time, and I thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your journey with me on this Saturday morning. This is going to be the Monday's episode, but I just want to give you some last any last thoughts or things you'd like to share with the listeners. Anything that comes to your mind that you'd like to leave us with.
I'll let Nidhi go first.
Okay.
See, no matter whether you're talking about business or your personal life, I believe relationships are the biggest aspect. So everyone who's listening to you, try and be true, transparent, and pure when you're talking to others, whether it's your home team or whether it's your business team. The more you're happier, the more you're able to express your emotions in the purest form, the more people will get attracted to you. And that's what we have felt. I mean, we love talking to people. There might be people who will be good, who will stick around with you in your journey. There might be people who won't, but respect, because every person in your life meets you for a reason.
Yes. Right?
And that it's totally upon you whether you take that reason to be a lesson or an experience.
Absolutely.
We always think, we always think back to the times where people said no to us, because if they would have not said no to us, we wouldn't have been where we are today.
Absolutely.
Right? That pull. So I think be good to people. Be nice. Don't judge people if they're not, with you or with your dreams. If they're not supportive of you, just go with the flow, and you will make it.
I 100% resonate with that, and I speak a lot about these things. So thank you for your kind thoughts, Nidhi. What about you, Rohit? What's your last thoughts?
I would hit you a little hard today. Because why? Because Asil told me that she really cares about everybody who's listen to her. She wants to add real value to you guys, right? Yes, what Nidhi said, what Asil said, truly that yes, you have to be a nice person. You have to be a person that can add value to people. You should not be judging. No prejudices, first of all. Do not look at each other from, hey, he's in this caste, this creed, this color. Leave this color. First of all, leave your prejudices. Everybody is created by God, so believe everybody's a human. There's only one race, that's human race. Okay? And how do you make it a better place? When you make other people feel the same way that you would make them feel your family, right? Because everybody's a human being, they are related to you in some way. Okay? So that's everybody's your family. Does not matter what color is it, first of all. Second thing, I know people who are listening to you, they want to make big in life, they have some kind of inspiration, they are maybe running a business, maybe they want a better life, right? Something like that. So they're first thing, some of them must be struggling right now. Some of them must be struggling and they're thinking, why am I here? Why am I here? I'm just talking to you guys right now who are thinking why it's not happening right now.
Yeah.
First of all, stick in there. Stick in there. Whatever you guys doing, stick in there. Look at 4 or 5 months back, if there was some mistake, yes, correct it. Winners make corrections all the time. Winners make corrections all the time. They take risks, they make corrections. You do that too, but do not do it with just your mind. Find out a mentor first of all, right? Because you cannot worry yourself out of worry. Okay? So find out a mentor. Second thing, your action has to match your intent. Everybody has an intent to go big in life. Everybody has an intent to do better in life. Everybody has an intent to help people. But is your action matching? There are a lot of people who are talks and walks do not match.
Yes.
And if you're one of them, change. It does not take more than anything, just a commitment, just a resolve. Take a resolve, stick to it, do those core steps that you need to do. I don't know what can be core steps for you, but I can tell you a few things that works for us, right? Read positive mental attitude books. Once you read, try to apply whatever you read, at least one day. I'll tell you one good book to start with. Anybody, in whatever endeavor you are in, one thing that you start with is a book called Go Giver. I do not promote something, I didn't get money from it, but that's a book that has changed so
What
much
is it
for
called?
us. Go Giver.
Oh, Go Giver.
Yeah, I have.
I actually have never read it. This
is a book.
Great. I'm gonna
Go Giver.
definitely
It's from,
add it on my list.
Bob Berg.
I think you'll like it because as people know you like telling stories. So this book is entirely story. It will give you messages through short stories. So
I love that.
which is kind of very relatable, and everybody can relate to one or the other story.
Yes. So read books. I'm just gonna finish it within 2 minutes right now. Read books. Second thing, if you own a TV and if you do not own a fleet of books, you're not gonna make it ever. Why? Because they say everything falls and rises upon influence, and influence is leadership.
Yeah.
Right? And only they say readers might not be leaders, but leaders are always readers.
Yes.
Right? So first of all, you need to start owning books. Start investing in yourself. If you don't think you're not if you're not worth enough to start investing in yourself, in your self growth, why would somebody else be? Why would somebody else would do it for you?
Absolutely.
Right? Make yourself so much valuable to yourself that you know what you're worth, first of all. Then you'll be able to add value wherever you do, whatever business you do, whatever you do right now. I don't know, right? Second thing, choose your battles. Choose your battles. You do not have to fight every single battle.
Yeah.
When people say no to you, you don't have to go and tell them what is it. You don't have to tell them, oh, you don't understand. Don't worry about it. Pigs don't know they stink.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And pigs like to play in what you call mud.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they like to play in mud. If they get dirty, they don't mind it, but you would mind it. I know that, right? So these two things: choose your battles, start reading, and match your action to your intent. I know everybody has a good intent. Everybody has a good moral compass, right? If you don't, reach out to somebody who has, and you will make it. We are not big shots. We haven't made it yet, but yes, we are on a path. We have somebody who's teaching us.
Absolutely. And it's humbling to just realize where we are compared to where we want to be, and just be self-aware and always trying to improve on a daily basis, realizing that we're imperfect, but we are seeking to be the best version of ourselves every day, and that's what this life is all about. So thank you so much for both your time. I truly appreciate it. You guys are just so refreshing to hear.
Is making changes in the world right now.
Thank you. I'm really excited about the journey, and then people cross their, you cross other people's lives for so many different reasons, and it's all very calculated by the universe or God, or like I said, whatever you want to call it. But there's no coincidences. So embrace it, and thank you so much again for your time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Take care, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Pleasure meeting you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So this is it. This concludes our lovely interview with Rohit and Nidhi. I hope you extracted great lessons from these two couples that are simply making their way in the world and challenging themselves to think outside the box. There's no doubt in me that somebody with all these qualities is someone capable of achieving their dream and sharing their inspirational story with others. So I'll check in on Nidhi and Rohit in a few months, maybe 6 months or 12 months from now, and just check in on the success of their journey. And I hope to share that with you as well. So if you or anybody you know has an interesting story of people living authentically, living their truth, contributing to this world, living inspiring lives, then I'd love to hear from you, because there's nothing I want more than to spread more stories from day-to-day average people making the most they can out of this life in this world. So reach out to me in any way you can. You can follow me on Instagram at Asil Baba, or send me a message over this podcast. I look forward to hearing from you. Have an amazing week ahead. I look forward to future episodes where we can see, I always have to mess things up, where we can learn, grow, and most importantly, get real together. Take care, everybody.